Okay, let's transport ourselves somewhere. Imagine stepping into the sun-drenched quiet of Talwana. It's a village in Monufia, Egypt, right in the Nile Delta.
A very fertile agricultural region.
Exactly. And the date is June 13th, 2025. The morning air, usually bustling, with daily life, it just hangs heavy. Still.
Something feels off.
Yeah, something's wrong. For one neighbor especially. Her friend, Mohasen, a woman everyone loves, well, she hasn't been seen for 2 days.
Which is unusual for her.
Very. Her morning chats, just her general presence around the village, gone. So this friend, she starts to feel this growing unease. She decides she has to check.
Understandable.
She walks that familiar path to the apartment Mohasen shared with her husband, Mohsen. But today it just feels different, heavy. And as she gets to the door, she notices something. It's cracked open. Just a little bit.
Oh, that's immediately unsettling.
Right. It's this awful mix of hesitation and worry. She knocks, then knocks again. Silence.
Just silence.
That cold dread starts creeping in. She pushes the door open just a bit more, steps inside. The air is thick, still. And then she sees it.
A discovery.
In the living room. Mohasen, motionless, drenched in blood, her head terribly injured.
Oh, God.
The sight just freezes her. Pure, paralyzing horror. But it's not over. As she stumbles back, gasping, her eyes land on another body. Mohsen. In the hallway, between the bathroom and kitchen. Killed just as brutally, also covered in blood, his head crushed. Unrecognizable.
Unimaginable violence.
The scream that comes next just tears through the morning quiet. Neighbors come running. Then the police arrive quickly. And that sets up our central question for this deep dive. Who could possibly do this? Who could inflict such savagery on two of the kindest, most beloved people in their whole community?
It's absolutely devastating. And the impact on a village like Talwana, it's hard to overstate. This case really, it really cuts to the heart of trust in close-knit communities. Well, it shows how that very trust, the thing that holds everything together, can become a weapon. It makes you think, what blind spots is that kind of deep affection create?
That's a really chilling point. To even start to understand the depth of this shock, we need to go back, way back, over 40 years. We need to understand who Mohsen and Mohasen actually were.
Their story.
Yeah. Picture this young man, Mohsen, known for being kind, serious. He meets Mohasen, equally compassionate, beautiful, and bam, there's this immediate connection.
Love at first sight, almost.
Seems like it. Mutual admiration, definitely. Mohsen was doing well, a respectable government job. He gets an offer to move to Talwana.
Which was far from Mohasen's family.
Right. But she was so convinced by him, by their connection, she made this huge decision, married him, moved away from her family, basically put all her trust in their future together.
And that trust was tested early on, wasn't it? There was a significant challenge they faced.
There was.
Yeah.
They found out they couldn't have children.
Which, in many societies, especially then, could be immense pressure. Sometimes even grounds for separation, unfortunately.
Absolutely. But for Mohsen and Mohasen, it actually seemed to make their bond stronger. They made this unwavering choice. Stay together, find strength in each other.
That kind of commitment, especially against those societal pressures, it's really quite rare and beautiful in a way. It clearly laid the groundwork for how they connected with everyone else later on.
Totally. It's like because they didn't have their own children, they sort of opened their arms to the whole community. Their home became this hub.
An open-door policy you mentioned.
Exactly. Their money, their gold, even appliances, they didn't hoard things. They saw it all as enjoyments of life meant to be shared, used to help people out.
That's incredible generosity.
It really was. Young people, neighbors, anyone needing advice or help, they'd go to Mohsen and Mohasen. People genuinely thought of them as like extra parents or siblings. They truly felt, that God had filled people's hearts with love for them.
And this deep community connection, this trust they built over decades, that's what makes what happened next just so profoundly shocking.
Yeah.
Their openness, the warmth they offered everyone. It tragically became their vulnerability.
It's a paradox, isn't it? The stronger the trust, maybe the harder it is to imagine betrayal from within that circle.
Exactly right. Even after Mohsen retired, their life was just peaceful routine, wake up early, go shopping together. Mohasen would have her daily chats with that same neighbor friend.
The one who found them.
Yeah, just this calm rhythm, a life that couldn't be more different from the horror that was coming.
Yeah.
So let's jump back to June 13th, 2025. That morning, outside their apartment, it's chaos, but a specific kind of chaos. A huge crowd of residents all just heartbroken.
Their grief was palpable, right? There's immediate proof for the police arriving just how loved this couple was. These weren't just anonymous victims. They were the heart of Talwana.
For the police, though, the scene itself presented huge challenges right away. Oh, absolutely. First off, the severe head trauma made identifying them very difficult. That's always a major hurdle. And in a small, tight-knit village like that, investigators face unique pressures too.
Like what?
Well, you're not just dealing with a crime scene, you're dealing with a traumatized community. Everyone knows everyone. Their observations are vital, but they can also be clouded by shock, grief, maybe even assumptions.
So it took the neighbors' confirmations, tearful ones, I imagine, and then finding their ID cards to be absolutely certain it was Mohsen and Mohasen.
Precisely.
Okay, so the crime scene team gets to work. What did they find initially? Any leads jump out?
Well, one critical detail emerged almost immediately. No signs of forced entry. Not on the door, not on the windows.
Right. So what does that tell investigators straight away?
It points very strongly towards the perpetrators being known to the victims. Someone Mohsen and Mahasen trusted enough to let inside willingly.
Okay, so that narrows it down from a random attack. But you mentioned their open door policy.
Exactly. That created the next challenge. They found numerous fingerprints all over the apartment. Normally, that's great news.
Like here.
But here, because so many people were constantly in and out neighbors, young people seeking advice, friends, it became incredibly difficult to distinguish between innocent visitor prints and the prints of the killers.
And you add to that, it's a rural village. Not many CCTV cameras around back then, I'm guessing.
Very few. So the police were really forced to rely on thorough investigation, witness statements carefully sifted, of course, and just solid old-fashioned detective work.
So the very things that made them beloved, their openness, their welcoming home, actually complicated the investigation into their murders.
Tragically, yes. But despite that initial complexity, a clear motive did start to emerge quite quickly.
Which was?
Robbery. It was confirmed that a significant sum of money was missing. Also, a large amount of gold that Mohasen was known to keep. Mohsen's laptop was gone, and both of their mobile phones.
So murder for gain. Brutal, but straightforward in terms of motive. Did the forensics add anything more?
They did. The forensic report confirmed the cause of death for both was powerful, repeated blows to the head. The weapon, a piece of marble.
Marble?
Yes, marble dust was found on the victims and in the blood pools. But what's really chilling here is the level of violence, the sheer force, the repetition of the blows. It indicated a clear, horrifying intent to kill, not just to knock them out or stop them resisting during a robbery.
This wasn't something that just escalated.
Doesn't seem like it. This felt like a determined, brutal attack against two elderly people, 82 and 74 years old. It speaks volumes about the mindset of the killer or killers, rage or maybe desperation.
Okay, so robbery is the motive, the weapon is identified, they know entry wasn't forced, but who? Weeks start passing, right? Yeah, 20 long days go by. And frustration is mounting in Talwana, you can imagine. People are anxious, constantly asking the police, "Any news? Have you found them?" It must have felt like the trail's going cold.
A very difficult time for everyone involved. The pressure on the investigators would have been immense.
But then there's a shift, a turning point. And it comes from someone unexpected, or rather from a memory she initially dismissed.
The neighbor, the one who found them.
The very same one. Still deeply in shock, obviously, but now something clicks. A detail she hadn't thought was important at the time.
It's fascinating how that happens in investigations. The human mind, under stress, it filters things. Sometimes crucial details only surface later when things are a bit calmer.
Yeah, our own biases, shock, they can obscure things. So what did she remember?
She remembered Mohasen had a distant relative, a young man, some 7 years old, named Mahmoud.
Okay. And what was known about Mahmoud?
Well, from the community's point of view, Mahmoud was respectable. An Al-Azhar graduate, which carries weight, religious and academic respect. He had a decent job, seemed financially stable, came from a good family.
So not someone who would typically be on anyone's radar for something like this.
Exactly, which is why the neighbor hadn't mentioned him initially. She likely just couldn't fathom him being involved. Her belief in his good character kind of shielded him initially.
But what was the specific detail she recalled now?
She remembered that 2 days before the bodies were discovered, so June 11th, 2025, which was actually the first day of the Eid holiday.
Okay, a holiday.
Right. She saw Mahmoud, along with a friend, go up to Mohsen and Mohasen's apartment. They stayed for just a short while, then they left. And critically, Mahmoud hadn't been seen around the village since that day.
Short visit on Eid, then disappears. That's notable.
It was enough. Enough for the police to start looking into Mahmoud. They initially confirmed his background, recently married, outwardly stable life, good reputation. Nothing seemed immediately amiss.
But they kept digging.
They kept digging. And as they looked closer, peeling back the layers of that respectable facade, they uncovered something shocking, a hidden truth.
Okay, what was it?
Mahmoud was secretly battling a drug addiction.
Wow. Okay, and this wasn't known.
Completely unknown. Not to his family, not to the community that held him in, relatively high regard.
That changes everything.
It changes absolutely everything. It's devastating. But it's often the key that unlocks these seemingly inexplicable crimes. Mahmoud's hidden struggle, despite his education, his family. It speaks to that immense pressure to keep up appearances, especially in communities where honor is paramount.
So addiction becomes this hidden driver.
An incredibly powerful one. The need for money to fund an addiction, it can just warp a person. It overrides everything, reason, empathy, family ties. It pushes people to desperate acts they'd never normally consider. It basically strips away their moral compass, even against people they supposedly care about.
And Mahmoud, he broke down quickly.
Yes. Once apprehended, his composure crumbled. The distress was obvious. He confessed almost immediately.
So what was his plan? How did it all unfold according to him?
It was chillingly calculated. He was desperate for drug money. He knew he couldn't take it from his own family. They'd notice right away.
But Mohsen and Mohasen?
He knew they were his relatives, elderly, and likely had cash and gold in the apartment. They became his target.
And the weapon, the marble.
He chose it beforehand, a heavy piece. He even enlisted a friend, promising him a cut to buy drugs with.
God. And the timing. Eid.
He chose the first day of Eid deliberately, thinking it was a holiday, less vigilance, maybe less suspicion if he visited family. He banked on the festive atmosphere providing cover.
Okay, walk us through the events of June 11th, based on his confession.
Mahmoud and his friend arrive at the apartment. Mohasen opens the door. She knows Mahmoud, trusts him, lets them in.
No hesitation from her side.
None. But Mahmoud, without a word, apparently without hesitation, he strikes her. Repeatedly. With that piece of marble, she falls right there in the living room.
Oh my God. Mohsen must have heard.
He did. Mohsen hears the commotion, rushes out from another room. He sees what's happening to his wife. His instinct to defend her, he grabs a knife from the kitchen.
A desperate attempt.
A desperate, brave attempt. But Mahmoud was faster, or stronger. He turns on Mohsen immediately. Strikes him again and again with the same marble piece there in the hallway.
Both of them, just like that.
Both killed brutally. And after, Mahmoud just closes the apartment door. Then he and his friends steal the money, the gold, the laptop, the phones, everything they came for.
And leaving the door ajar, that was deliberate.
According to his confession, yes. He left it slightly open intentionally. Why? To ensure the bodies would eventually be found, but not too soon. Giving them time.
Time to get away, hide the loot.
Exactly. Mahmoud's composure afterwards is maybe the most chilling part. He goes down, hides the stolen items on his own rooftop, and then he goes about celebrating Eid, like nothing happened, utterly confident he wouldn't be suspected.
It's sickening. The betrayal is just absolute.
It is. And the irony, as you said earlier, is just gut-wrenching. Mohsen and Mohasen, they were known for their generosity. They probably would have given Mahmoud money if he'd just asked.
Right.
They loved him.
They saw him as family.
But the addiction, it completely taken over. It erased reason, erased empathy, erased that family bond. It turned him into someone capable of this horror against the very people who likely would have helped him.
This whole story, their lives, the community's trust ending like this, it's a profound tragedy. It really forces you to think about addiction, about trust, about what can hide behind a familiar face.
Absolutely. If you zoom out, look at the bigger picture here. This isn't just a story about one terrible crime in one village. It's a stark reminder, isn't it? That even the strongest bonds, love, family, community, trust, they can be shattered by these insidious forces like addiction.
Yeah.
It really compels you to consider not just who you show kindness to, but also the hidden battles people might be fighting, battles you can't see, and how those struggles can twist someone, even someone you know, someone you trust, into causing unimaginable harm.
The true cost of addiction. It ripples outwards, doesn't it? Affecting everyone.
It impacts everyone. It tears through families, through communities, leaving devastation, and so many unanswered questions that linger long after the crime itself is solved. It certainly leaves questions that resonate far beyond Talwana.